When it comes to the humble onion, most of us take its storage for granted. We buy a bunch, stash them in a corner of the kitchen or the fridge, and then hope they'll last until the next meal. But did you know that with the right methods, you can store onions for months, sometimes even for half a year, without them sprouting, softening, or spoiling? In this guide, we'll reveal the secrets to keeping your onions fresh and delicious long after you bring them home, saving you time, money, and food waste. Whether you're dealing with a bumper crop from your garden or manage to snag a great deal at your local market, these tips will ensure you get the most out of every bulb. Onions are a kitchen staple found in countless recipes, from savory stews to tangy salads. But their versatility extends beyond flavor. They are surprisingly easy to store, as long as you understand what causes them to spoil and how to avoid the most common mistakes. Let's first talk about why onions go bad. The most common culprits are excess moisture, lack of air circulation, and improper temperature. Onions are naturally protected by layers of dry skin, but if they're exposed to too much humidity, stored in sealed containers, or kept in warm temperatures, they can quickly become soft, moldy, or start to sprout. The key to long-term onion storage is to recreate the cool, dry, and airy conditions they prefer. Here's how you can achieve exactly that. Start by choosing the right onions. For prolonged storage, select fully mature bulbs that are hard, dry, and papery on the outside. If you grow your own onions, allow them to cure by drying in the sun for 2 to 3 weeks until their necks are fully dry and the skins rustle when handled. Avoid storing onions that show any signs of softness, bruising, or green shoots. Those are best used up right away. Once you have your onions picked out, resist the urge to wash them. Moisture is the enemy of long-term storage, so only brush off any excess dirt with your hands. Next, decide on a storage method. The classic approach is to use mesh bags, paper bags, old pantyhose, or even baskets. The goal is to allow maximum airflow while keeping onions in the dark, cool environment they crave. A popular method among gardeners is to use a pair of clean pantyhose. Simply drop an onion into the foot, tie a knot above it, then drop in the next onion, knotting again until the hose is full. Hang it in a cool, dark place, and when you need an onion, just cut one off below the knot. This method keeps onions suspended with air all around them, discouraging rot. If you're using bags, make sure they are not plastic. Mesh or paper works best. Fill the bags loosely, avoid overpacking, and hang or place them somewhere they can breathe: a pantry, cellar, garage, or anywhere that stays cool and dry. Temperature is another crucial factor. The ideal storage temperature for onions is between 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. Too warm, and onions will sprout. Too cold, such as in a refrigerator, and they may develop a mushy texture or start to mold. If you do not have a root cellar, consider a basement, unheated spare room, or insulated garage. Just remember to check periodically for heating vents nearby. Humidity should be low. High humidity encourages mold and rot, so avoid storing onions near sinks, dishwashers, or in plastic containers where condensation might build up. Instead, choose a location that stays relatively dry throughout the year. It's also wise to keep onions away from potatoes. While both are traditionally kept in pantries or cellars, storing them together actually leads to quicker spoilage. Potatoes give off moisture and gases that accelerate onion decay, so always keep them at a distance from each other. Another simple tip: regularly inspect your stored onions. About once every couple of weeks, check your stash for any signs of softening, sprouting, or mold. Remove any compromised onions promptly to prevent them from affecting the rest. Remember, one bad onion can spoil the bunch. If you notice green shoots starting to appear, you can still use the onion. Just remove the sprout and any soft spots. However, properly stored onions should stay sprout-free for many months. In climates or seasons where humidity is high, or if you don't have a suitable cool room, you can try other storage options. One effective method is dehydration. Slice onions thinly and use a food dehydrator or your oven at a low temperature to remove moisture. Store the dehydrated slices in airtight containers away from light, and you'll have a supply ready for soups, stews, or powdering for homemade onion powder. For those who prefer freezing, slice or chop onions as you would for cooking, spread them on a tray and freeze until solid, then store in freezer bags. While thawed onions won't have the same crunch as fresh, they'll still provide plenty of flavor for cooked dishes. If you're storing cut or peeled onions, be sure to refrigerate them right away in a sealed container. Use these within a week for best quality. Here's a quick summary of the best practices. Store only mature, undamaged onions. Do not wash before storing. Keep onions in a cool, dry, and ventilated spot, ideally between 40 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Use mesh bags, paper bags, or ventilated baskets, never plastic. Hang onions or spread them out to allow for air circulation. Regularly check for spoiled bulbs and remove immediately. Keep onions away from potatoes. For long-term alternatives, consider dehydrating or freezing. By following these simple guidelines, you can enjoy the convenience and flavor of fresh onions for months, whether you use a handful each week or find yourself cooking for a crowd. Proper storage not only keeps onions fresh, but it's also a sustainable choice that minimizes food waste and ensures you always have a key ingredient on hand for your favorite recipes. Next time you find onions on sale or harvest a bumper crop from your garden, you won't have to worry about them spoiling before you can use them. With these expert storage tips, you'll always have perfect onions ready, no matter the season.